Meowdy, and welcome. My name's en-viss, my pronouns are they, them, and this is my Flosstube channel, Sleepy Goblin Crafts, where I talk about all things CrossFit. It has been a few months. The last time I recorded was March for Trans Day of Visibility, so we had just finished moving into our house at that point, and life basically got in the way. I was struggling with my stitchy bug for the most part. I kind of diverted to my other hobbies. I was gaming a lot more. I was playing the Pokemon TCG. I was doing other crafts. So, I was around, but not here. Um, but I've missed stitching. I've missed recording. And here I am. Uh, the middle of July. It's July 14th. And yeah, I I'm back. I don't know what else to say. Y'all knew I mentioned I was taking a hiatus for the most part. So it's not like I disappeared suddenly. And I was still relatively active on Instagram, I feel like. So if you don't follow me there, I'm sorry uh for disappearing. Things have been rough to say the least. Um, we had to put Guinevere down, and that's been really rough. So it's a very fresh wound, and so I've been meaning to film a floss tube for like the last 2 weeks. Things just kind of kept getting in the way, or something would happen that would prevent me. Like something would happen that would prevent me from filming, or I was just like too tired from work, you know. So I need something to distract myself from being alone with my thoughts for too long. So here I am. I Like I said, I've been meaning to film a floss tube for the last couple of weeks. I was debating on whether or not to do just like a whip parade and get that out of the way, like a mid-year whip parade. Uh, I don't think I'm gonna do that, a mid-year whip parade this year, just because I don't have a ton of projects that I've touched that have significant progress from the last time that you guys saw them. Uh, so I feel like that would just kind of be redundant. So I do have a couple of finishes. I have a few whips. We'll talk about plans. And yeah, hopefully I can get back to regular videos with you guys, especially now that I have my groove back. I think I don't want to say I found a sweet spot with like all of my hobbies, like trying to balance them because I am still gaming. I am still doing other crafts. It's just my other hobbies took precedence uh in the beginning of the year, like through January through like May, and I've just now kind of gotten back in the swing of things. So let's get started with finishes. I have two, and again, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen them. So first is I'm going to share is the Phoenix. This is a bad stitch pattern. This was her Trans Day of Visibility campaign, like the fundraiser campaign that she did. She does them every year. This was this year's pattern. It's the Phoenix. And I finished this in late May, I want to say. Do I have a date? No, I didn't even write it down. I've been so disorganized. It's bad. So either way, this uh her patterns are such a joy to stitch. Amanda of Bad Stitch. Her like I love her patterns. So this is done on 18 count A History of Violets by Stitchman Darcy, and I used all the called for flosses. So I'm thinking my intention with this is to turn it kind of into a banner esque. Um, so like kind of cut the margins pretty narrow and then have it taper at the bottom with the tail. And feeling uh if I'm feeling up to the challenge, I might um maybe stitch or sew um like a rainbow flag as like tassels. Are you seeing the vision? Maybe. I So like the top would probably be like here where I have it folded, and then it would just be like like a tapestry finish where I have like a pole through it, and then it would hang. Are we visioning the vision? I'm bad at finishes, so who knows when that's gonna happen, but a bitch can dream. My next finish is much more recent. I finished this last week. Do I have the date in here? Hang on. I wrote down I stopped using Notion and I just have defaulted to a notebook. Okay, yeah, I finished this on July 5th. So yeah, last what last Sunday. Here it is. This is Twilight Moon. This is by Tiny Modernist from the uh, Night Garden collab that Cross Stitch the Rainbow does. And this was done with Threadworks uh, floss. So I did this in the called for on 20 count charcoal, just as Wygar fabric. So it's very tiny. I think it's cute. Hopefully I can find a small little frame for it, preferably oval or circular. I mean, the technically the stars in the corner make this a square finish, but I think a circle frame would look really cute too. I have enough margins to fuck with it, so we shall see. So those are my finishes. Like I said, I haven't been stitching a ton, so I have put my butt into gear to try and knock out some of my older whips. So first, we are going to start with my birth. I started this for my birthday last year. This is Plants and Petrichor by Fine Frog Stitching. I the bottom so that you can see it a little bit better. I put a ton of work into this. Uh, so I started this, like I said, for my birthday last year. I didn't have a birthday start this year because I was under the assumption that I would have had this finished by my birthday this year, and then I could start something new. Obviously, that is not the case. So I was just like, I'm just going to keep working on this for my birthday this year, which is totally fine. And I didn't actually even touch it for my birthday. I worked on it primarily in June. So I got like, I want to say 2,100 stitches in this. I made so much progress. So and that's with missing floss. Because as you can see, the this blanket is incomplete, and then a lot of the like these candles, like I was missing some of the reds and I ran out of green. So I have since replenished the missing floss. So this will continue to get progress this summer. I would really like to finish it this summer. I have the three whips, not the three. I have more than three, but there are three whips that I would like to finish this summer. This is one of them. I am at 50% on it. I think I'm over 50% on it. So I definitely think it's doable. This is being stitched with the called for DMC on 32 count. Yeah, 32 count malachite by Fiber on a Whim. And the green is just really, really nice. It's a like dark jewel tone. It's very uh very wrinkly because I don't have an iron. So this is what you get to deal with. Next is my project for the strawberry moonsow that Marjorie of Marjorie made posts on Instagram. This is my project. It is Strawberry Farmer Cat by Stitch Sprout. I didn't put a ton of work in. I take that back. I did put a decent chunk of work in it. The last time y'all saw this, I had started on the paws and the like chest area, like this apron, and I had done the basket. So this time I put in the sleeves and I put in the strawberries, and then I started bringing down her dress. Um, Hopefully I remember to put in pictures of what these look like somewhere on the screen. That'd be pretty cool of me. So this is where I'm at. Uh, I want to say I'm at 50-ish percent. It's like 45 or 50-ish percent. Um, this is being done with the called for DMC on 18 count vintage from the Stitch Me. I This is a project that I started relatively early in my stitching. Uh, when I first started stitching, I did not realize how much the apron would blend with the background. So if I had started this today, or probably within the last 6 months, I probably would have picked a lighter fabric or a darker fabric, not something so like neutral toned. Um, Only because the you can't, like, it just blends together. And I mean, it's not the end of the world because my intention with this is to turn it into a little standing doll, a la the Animal Crackers by Stacey Nash. I've mentioned that before. I think it would be a really cute finish. So that is still my plan with this. I don't know why I still have this in the nerd hoop because this isn't necessarily a project that I'm planning on finishing this summer. Um, so I suppose I could probably take it out of the nerd hoop, but you snap. That's what this is. So we'll see. Sorry. Don't count on seeing that again, probably this year. Or maybe do. Next is a project that I would like to finish this summer. I've been putting a lot of work into it. This is Fairy House. It's a Mill Hill kit. I love how this is turning out. I I need to get a magnetic frame for stitching on perforated paper. Um, I bought one and it's the smaller size for like the ornament sizes, not for these uh square 8x8, 8x8, 6x6. I think this is 6x6. Either way, uh, because oh my hand hurts after holding this for too long. Um, it's fine, but it's kind of a pain. So what have I done? I basically worked my way down into this corner and I've started to bring this tree up and over. So that is the progress. It's a lot of stitching. This is a dense as hell pattern. This is what it's going to look like, which is like super, super cute. Obviously, I'm waiting until the end to do the beading. I did start doing the back stitch on the windows. As you can see, I did it in the door, this window, and this window. I was going to start to do it on this little gate over here, this gate area, like you can see in this, uh, like right there. However, I haven't brought in the sky on this side, and part of the gate back stitch is over the sky, so I didn't do that. This is turning out really great though. I love it. I am using kit materials, so it's DMC and the perforated paper. I don't know what color this is. Does it tell me? No, it just says that it's 14 count perforated. Um, and then I'll also be using the beads once I get there, but I'm saving that till the end. So, can I finish this by the end of the summer? A bitch sure would love to. Humst ever. I still have so much to fill in. I have basically like let's compare side to side, right? Like I have all of the sky. Oh, you can see me. I have all of the sky here. I still have to fill in the roof, and then I have to put in the pathway here. And then let's see. Yeah, there's a couple of mushrooms on this side that I have to put in. Yeah. Fortunately, I do think I've done the hardest part, which is the like part of the house and like all of the green, like all of the greenery on this side and partially on this side. Because a lot, like the path is pretty much block stitching. The mushrooms are probably going to be a little hard, but like I have fill in on the tree. That's easy. The roof is pretty much one color aside from there's like some beads and backstitch. And then the sky is like two or three blues. So the hardest part should be behind me, but this is slow going. It's really enjoyable, but it is slow going. So I can only hope that I can finish it this summer. If I don't, that's okay. It's not a race, but I would like to finish it. Next is Two Best Friends. This is by Tremble Hands. And this is, I started this as part of a stitch along, start along by my friend Krista of Clover Hop Stitching on Instagram and YouTube. And she started this style like back in February. And she's finished it. A whole bunch of other people have finished it. I have obviously have not finished it. So I finished the border last night and I started putting in the row of the blue background. It shouldn't take me much longer because it really is just block stitching at this point. I am using a mix of the called for colors as well as colors from Stash to substitute, which is giving mixed results. I will be honest. The blues are very similar in tone. Um, yeah, it's I'm making do. Um, I'm stitching this on a 22 count Rustico. It's basically Hardinger. It's so tiny, like literally. This is like 3 inches. It's so small. So pretty easy to stitch given the color, but it's also difficult to stitch because of the size. And also my floss slips pretty easily between the weave. I really like how it's turning out though. So there's that. My last whip is a project that I started for Sean's birthday, and then I was like, if I'm eating my own words because during my whip parade, my mid-year whip parade last year, I was like, if I don't have this finished by Sean's birthday next year, something's wrong. Well, something is wrong. Uh, shit happens. So I was not able to finish this for Sean's birthday this year, but I have made significant progress on it, and this is the third whip that I would really like to finish this summer. This is The Wolf by Cottage Garden Sampling, and I love him. Handsome lad. This is being stitched with the called for DMC and the one I think it's Classic Colorworks overdyed. It's this brown here, which like you can't really tell is variegated. It has a very slight variegation, but it's not super noticeable. And I am stitching this on 18 count Cactus Wren, which is by Fox and Rabbit. It's a very nice neutral. So he's coming along very nicely. I just everybody talks about how dense cottage garden sampling patterns are, and you're like, okay, yeah, I can see that. Until you start working on one yourself, I don't think you understand how fucking dense these things are. Like, holy shit, there is so many stitches in this guy already, and I'm not even halfway. I guarantee you, I am not at 50%. I'm using a paper pattern, so it's hard to tell. Um, but there are so many stitches in this guy. He's turning out fucking beautiful. Like, I love how he's looking. However, so many stitches. It's worth it. So many stitches. Okay. So that's it for my whips. I don't have any starts. As far as plans go, I was talking to Lisa of Linguistic Stitches. She invited me to start one of the patterns with her from this calendar series. It's Art Thing, I think, 1980. She's going to start this funky guy on the cover, and I am going to work on the October pattern, which is this lovely little dude. In the back, it tells me exactly what it is. Yes, it is a the blackbird with Japanese lanterns. So I'm gonna start this guy. He's fun. I love him. We're gonna start this in August. I don't know that we're gonna do like a hashtag or anything like that. So, but if you want to start a funky bird in August, you are more than welcome to join us. This pattern, the patterns in this book have a specialty floss. I was talking to Lisa about it. It's it's not DMC, and either way, I'm gonna have to convert this to DMC. I might do fancy floss conversion for the bird, maybe, and maybe the Japanese lanterns, just depending if I want like some variegation in there. But I have a little bit to make that decision. So that is a planned start for August. Outside of that, my plans are mostly just going to be focusing on whipping down. Not because I don't want to start things, because I do. I want to get my whip count down so I feel better about starting. And that's not because I'm like ashamed of not of like having a high whip count. High. It's not that high. It's like 20 whips. Uh, I'm like not ashamed of it, but I want to keep it manageable for me and not overwhelm myself with too many options. And I think that's where I was starting to navigate towards last year, like doing all of those like all. I did like 4 Halloween starts in September, October, and I think that kind of just put me on a trajectory of like, because I was just aimlessly starting new things instead of intentionally starting new things. And when I say intentionally, it's not like I have finishing plans or anything like that. Um, I'm not the type of person who's like, I need to know where it's gonna go in my house to work on and finish on something. It's more like I want to the intentional aspect comes from wanting to like I don't need to know where it's going in my house. I just want to have how do I explain this? I don't know. I can at the very least I can tell you it's not because I have an idea of where something's going in my house. I don't. I just want to not start something just because I have FOMO, because everybody else is doing it. Like I want to start something because I like the pattern and I have the desire to put time and effort into it. Which is to say, like the whips that I do have, like the Halloween starts that I did last year, I do have that intention with them. I just think I might slow my roll and not do that many starts. Like, does that make sense? I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. Either way, uh, I'm gonna try whipping down. I don't have anything that's super close to a finish aside from um two best friends. Like this is probably my closest to a finish. Uh and so like between that and these two, this is gonna probably be my next closest finish. So that will definitely get done this summer. These two are like stretch goals. I want to finish this one more than this because this I can at least I don't know. I can't explain the I can't explain the leaps and hoops that my train of thought is jumping through in terms of like priority. Whatever feels right, and we're going with that. So yeah. I was thinking of maybe trying to figure out a way of like rotating between some whips to get progress on them. I posted on Instagram about before I just decided to film this video. I posted on Instagram about like should I like try to touch all of my like whips that I haven't worked on this year and then do a whip parade. And a couple of you said that you would like to see a whip parade. Sorry. Just in general. Not that I needed to necessarily touch all of my whips, but then a couple of other people just suggested that I just try to touch all of my whips for the rest of the year. And I think that's kind of the direction I'm gonna go. I was already planning on touching, like working on my Halloween and my autumnal projects here in the next couple of weeks. Anyway, like for summerween and just because I want it to be fall and I want it to be cool and not 105 degrees outside. Uh heat wave baddies, I know you out there. And so I might do like a tiny decisions wheel and just put all of my projects that I haven't touched this year yet on that wheel, spin it and just go from there and just like put like a solid 100 or 200 stitches on them, and then by the end of the year I can say that I've touched all of my whips because that's totally doable. I'm not going to count. I have this many whips. This is upside down. I have this many whips. Save for two. I know this is like so helpful for you guys. Yeah, maybe. So I think it's doable to at least try to touch all of my projects and put in like 100 or 200 stitches in by the end of the year. That way, when I do my whip parade at the beginning of 2027, there is at least some show that there is progress on my less, I don't want to say favorable because they're all my favorites. Let's talk about what else I've been doing. I kind of mentioned at the beginning of the video, basically the last several months have just been dedicated to playing video games. I have been in Final Fantasy 14 Hell. It doesn't help that the new expansion Evercold is coming out at the beginning of next year. FanFest in Berlin is at the end of the month, and that's really exciting. So Sean and I are going to have the live streams for that, just probably going all day. Um, like I mentioned, was I briefly got back into the Pokemon trading card game like a month or two ago. It's just really hard right now. I'm a very casual collector and player. Like I play and collect. And it's just really hard right now the with the collecting scene because scalpers are so rampant. Like they are literally lining up at Meyer at 2 a.m. for drops, for like inventory drops. And then they are reselling on the secondhand market for like 10 times the retail price. And so you can't, casual people like me can't get our hands on retail inventory because they immediately sell out on the Pokemon Center and local trading card shops also immediately sell out. And so I can't go to like a big box store like Target. I don't shop at Target, but like Meijer, for example, even Kroger, because Kroger has their little kiosks there that you can like the vending machines or whatever. They camp at those. People literally will camp in front of the vending machine. So it's very disheartening for someone like me where I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it to collect my favorite floor bows. And I can't even do that. Um, so it's very disheartening. And because I'm so casual, it just makes it even harder to pick up a couple of packs, pick up like at an affordable Right. Like I literally canceled a couple of my or the stitch I canceled my Floss subscription through the Stitch and Kitten, and I canceled my fabric subscription through Bestitch Me because I was like, oh, I'm getting back into collecting Pokemon cards. I want to set some extra money aside so that I can uh like get my collection back up, and like that fucking went out the window because can't have nice things. So that was really frustrating. And I I don't want to talk about it. Aside from that, I was playing Final Fantasy 14. I've been playing a couple of like smaller indie games too. Uh I picked up, it's called Lost and Found Co. It's a really really cute, it's a hidden object game. Um it's so cute. There's a story to it. It's very like Where's Waldo in terms of like, like the old, like literally just think of like old hidden object picture books where you were given a list of objects to find at the bottom and you scour the book page to find them. It's very cute. It's like challenging enough that like it really like it encourages you to kind of think outside the box because it gives you hints, and then there is a mechanic where it gives you like another hint, if like a more obvious hint if you're struggling. If you like very very uh low risk games, it's the epitome of casual in my opinion. Highly recommend. I've also picked back up Coral Island briefly because there was a update back in June, um, with multiplayer. They added a couple of new romanceable characters that I probably won't romance, but I picked it back up because I hadn't played it since early access, and so just trying it out again. I'm really excited for Fields of Mystria 1.0 to come out in August. Very, very excited for that. That game is my jam. So if you like farm games, like farming sim esque games, Coral Island, Fields of Mystria, top notch. I also briefly picked, not briefly, I picked up and briefly played Paralives, which is a life sim game. It's basically The Sims. It's in early access right now, but it has a ton of accessible options. The building aspect is really what's selling this game. Like there's no, like you have a grid, but you don't have to stick to the grid when you're building your house. It's currently on Steam right now, so I think it's PC only. I don't know if it's gonna get ported to console. Sorry, console players. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be on the Switch or anything like that. Speaking of the Switch, I did pick up the Switch 2 for Sean's birthday. So we have that now. He has been playing. He recently. We have a GameFly subscription, so it's basically like renting games. It's great, honestly, for trying console games. Highly recommend. He picked up through it. He picked up Octopath Traveler 0, played that for a little bit, and he was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get this game." He played Pokemon ZA Legends, which we both have mixed feelings on because the Kalos region is our one of our favorites. We're both kind of jaded by Pokemon right now in different for different reasons. And he picked up and played through the new Star Fox game, which is very short, but he really liked it. So I am going to see if I can have him put the new Rhythm Heaven game on our GameFly subscription because I really want to try that. I love Rhythm Heaven on the DS, so I'm looking forward to that. What else? I think that's it mostly. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, unfortunately, Sean and I did have to put Guinevere down. She stopped, and it happened so fast. So I'll be honest. If you don't want to listen about pet death, I'll have chapters. So just skip to like the outro if you don't want to hear about pet death, which is totally understandable. Literally do not. But basically, what ended up happening, 4th of July weekend, Guinevere was slowly stopping eating. Like she was not interested in treats, and it slowly devolved to her eating like her dry food and her wet food. So last week, we took her to urgent care. They gave her fluids and they did blood work, and they were like, her blood work's normal. Her platelets are kind of low, but that's not weird. Give her this appetite stimulant. And I had already had a appointment scheduled for her normal vet last Friday. So last Tuesday, I took her to urgent care, and then for 3 days, tried applying topical the for the appetite stimulant, gave her the anti-nausea meds, and this did not work. So we took her to her normal vet on Friday, and they did X-rays, and they found a mass next to her kidney, and they found fluids surrounding her lungs. It's possible, like, so they suspect that they're unrelated to each other. The mass and the fluids are unrelated. It From the sounds of things, the fluids were there prior to the mass. So and the mass is probably we discovered on Monday that the mass was probably benign, but the fluids were probably what was causing the majority of the problems because it was surrounding her heart and her lungs. So they did a chest tap, pulled out 8 milliliters, and they were like, "This is half." But they were like, "Keep an eye on her." They gave us a syringe. They gave us AD wet food that was high calorie just to keep her fed over the weekend. And they were hoping that the chest tap would perk her up, but it did not. So Monday, we brought her in yesterday, brought her in for an ultrasound, and they basically confirmed that one of her lung nodes had collapsed from the fluid around her lungs, and that basically they were very pessimistic about any short-term care that would help prolong her uh like any type of attempt at caregiving. So I've spent the last like 24 hours crying. Uh and if I think too hard about it, I will start crying again. So we're gonna move on. Uh 𝚑𝚑𝚘 Pride is this weekend. I don't know that we're gonna go to that. Just if we were originally, but now I don't know that we are because we are just exhausted right now. We're really tired and sad. So, work has been very accommodating for both of us. I'm very fortunate. Our coworkers are incredibly kind and lovely, and despite not really being able to call off, they're like, "Hey, take the time that you need throughout the day, like no problem." So this is gonna be the longest week imaginable, and I'm already tired of it. So for those of you wondering, Merlin in how he's doing, hard to tell. It's hard to tell. He and Gwen were bonded siblings. They were a bonded pair when we adopted them, but Merlin got on Gwen's nerves more often than not. And I'm pretty sure she took the brain cell with her. So it's really hard to tell how much Merlin has recognized what's going on. I do think he knows she's missing, but it just sucks. So I am cross-stitching to distract myself, and I am playing Final Fantasy 14 to distract myself. So yeah, I'm not going to Midsummer Stitch this weekend. I literally just don't have money. Like bar none, I don't have the money. uh, Trying to give medical care to your animals is incredibly expensive. We have gone through what little savings we have. We've maxed out our credit cards for this cat. So I have no money. And that's okay. It's okay. We will recover. I think we will recover. It'll be fine. I just can't spend extra. Like I can't treat myself to cross stitch. As much as that would make me feel better, I can't do that. Uh, responsibly. Responsibly cannot do that. Especially because we are trying to plan a up north trip for next year, summer, for not for Sean's birthday, but it'll be around his birthday. We want to go up to the sand dunes. We want to go up to Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes next summer, so we need to try and save for that. And then we also have another trip that we want to plan in 3 years with a friend and go down to Orlando. Saving is not my forte, and I am detested right now. That's all to say, I'm sitting in this chair right now. I'm surviving. Things suck. Things will get better, but things really suck right now. So I hope everyone's doing much better than me. Um, if you're in the Midwest and on the East Coast, try to stay cool because this next heat dome is gonna just completely fuck us again. And I'm really, really ready for fall. Uh, I'm just ready for fall. I'm tired of this heat. Ready for fall. So I will try to do another video in 3-ish weeks, like my old schedule. No promises. It may be closer to a month, but I will do my best. So until then, I hope you all take care. I will see you next time. Bye.